I think water is our main problem, and we've suffered for not having water. For 10 long years, I, Gillian Lawrence Brown, a registered nurse, midwife, and family planning practitioner, have struggled to fulfill a legacy left to me by my father Bill, that of providing medical care, comfort and security for everyone from children with burns and trauma, the outpatient clinic servicing the diverse needs of the very poor community, including emergency treatment, maternity care, and the monitoring of tragic AIDS-related conditions, the chronic alcoholic and the terminally ill. People who could so easily be forgotten. From extremely humble beginnings, an entire community has consequently emerged, seemingly out of nowhere, in the inhospitable land between Athi River and the hill called Lukenya. Situated 36 kilometers east of Nairobi, in the arid area of the Maasai and Kamba tribes, a tiny oasis has been wrought from the dry, barren bush and become known by all as Canini, providing care, advice, nursing, immunization, nutrition, and inspiration. Water conservation is necessary all over this area. It's really, really dry. But if we had enough water, we could educate the people more about conservation, because we'd give them the incentive. We'd be able to take things and say, look, this is how you can manage. Water is life. Water is used very carefully here, as you can see. A constant, reliable water supply would help me meet the challenges of providing healthcare services to the community around in our static and mobile clinics. With a good, deep borehole, we could grow enough food for our supplementary feeding program, where we check the weights of children regularly and feed those 100 we find severely underweight. A good water supply would help me realize my biggest dream. A burns and trauma unit for the rural children who so often need long-term care and rehabilitation after the initial emergency treatment in hospital. All this arising from poverty that forces families to use low cooking fires. It is so easy for an accident to happen. My experience with the Flying Doctor Service brought me face to face with so many sad cases, and my whole heart goes out to those children and their parents. The only alternative is to deepen the borehole now, which is what we're looking at the moment, and we think it's going to cost about 1 million shillings.
How long would it take if we were able to raise the money to put the water project into action?
I think fairly quickly. If it's deepening the borehole, it will be within a month, because the drillers would come in and then just keep drilling, if they were free to come in.
And is that the best way to go?
I think for the time being it is, because then we don't need to worry about tanks, because the water is in a storage somewhere underground, pure, clean
And
water.
you're allowed to do that?
We're allowed to do that. What we would do is just use the existing borehole and deepen it until we get sufficient water.
And what about the relation of the water to this Burns unit? That's got to be imperative.
That is the main thing. We cannot, and we still have no children and have not accepted any children, and we won't accept children until our water problem is
so
solved.
those two go together very
They go
much
together
so.
completely.
Mm.
Completely.
Mm.
Enough water to care for the children. Enough water to make this tiny oasis big enough to support our efforts in healthcare provision. Enough water for permanent agriculture, for supporting the whole little community's nutrition and dignity. Enough water is what we need.